Good afternoon. I'm Dave Canini. I go by DQ. I'm one of the 9U coaches here at Cornerstone. Happy to coach here. Love coaching here. About 6 months ago, I was working with Icy Lee, the 7U head coach. All the kids here. He talked about what the vision was for Cornerstone, etc., and he asked me if I was interested. So about a week ago, we had a scrimmage against the Junior Broncos, and my son, who's a running back on the 9U team, he broke his arm, right? He broke his arm, and as he broke his arm, it was pretty bad. So it looked dislocated. The doctors were surprised it didn't break skin. My wife, who's a practicing PA, she's a professor at UT's med school, she was surprised it didn't break skin just as well, right? So we rushed Jacob to the hospital. Marcia, V, they did a phenomenal job of putting a splint on it, getting him to the hospital. It was so bad we had to ambulance him to the downtown children's hospital so specialists could start to work on it. It was not only dislocated, i.e. his elbow, but also there was a fracture alongside of his elbow. In the time of last week, from the moment that he broke his arm up until now, just about all the coaches have been in the hospital to see him. Coaches brought some of their kids, i.e. Jacob's teammates, to the house to be with him. Pastor Boots came out to pray with us. Cornerstone came out to feed us. Every coach has reached out. Every parent, every father, every mother, everybody has made this very warm. I think prayers were answered. There was a lot of prayers that went out last week to make sure that everything went well with respect to Jacob and surgery and procedures, and obviously the family, obviously the recovery. I don't think this has messed with Jacob's mental at all. He's still there. He's still doing a good job. He still feels like a trooper. And that's a lot to do with the Warrior Cornerstone family. Now, I bring that part up, and I bring up on your worst day be above average, because on a worst day, our coaches are coaching up boys, right? They're doing a good job with our boys. They're turning our boys into winners. They're turning our boys into football players. They're teaching them discipline. They're teaching them mental and physical toughness. Again, they're making them better as young men. But above and beyond that, they're teaching Christianity out here with the devotion in terms of everything that we do. And it's not just words. When everyone comes to us and is praying with us and being with us and being with my wife, Meredith, and my daughter, Isabella, and obviously my son, Jacob, and praying with us, that goes above and beyond any kind of football, right? There's football, there's winning and whatnot, and then there's what it's all about. This is really what football is all about. I think this is what the vision of bringing people from the west side and the east side and every other part of San Antonio, that's the culture that we have. I don't think this would happen with the Junior Broncos. Perhaps it will. I don't think it happened with any team here in terms of the support that we have. I'll share a quick story here. When my wife and I were, when we were younger, we had a miscarriage in Germany. I was stationed out there. A few months later, we had a baby that was born. Aiden Tyler was born at 24 weeks. Breathed for about 2 minutes and then went to God. Church was tight with us. Again, we're in Germany. It's just Meredith and I. Not a lot of family there. Not any family. Obviously, there's some friends. There's some work support, but the church was there. My squadron was there. My wife worked at the hospital there. They were tight. My mother-in-law came to church. My mother and father-in-law came to visit us about 2 weeks after Aiden was born. And we're at church on a Wednesday night, and my mother-in-law starts to break into tears. She didn't realize the support that was there that we were getting from another country, not only from my squadron, but from my wife's work. We were getting support from the church and everything, and it was very akin to what my wife and I felt last week with Jacob. Now, apples and oranges to some regard, right? We're talking about a tragedy versus Jacob's broken arm. But in the moment when I look at my son and he's in pain, and I would do anything and give anything to get that pain out of him, it puts things in perspective. And there was a parallel there in terms of the family, right? So I am comparing a bunch of coaches who have brought this culture together to a military family, to a squadron across the ocean in another place in terms of tragedy or something that happens, and this is how we come together for family. I say that to just simply say this. The culture is what it is. It's winning, it's teaching, it's honing, it's developing, but above that, because that's one piece of it, it's all about the love and the support and the warmth and the devotion that we provide with each other, the fellowship that we bring together, and everything that we've come to when something goes down. That's what this is all about. It's not about X's and O's at that point.